You're trying to eat healthy. You avoid candy, soda, and desserts. You read labels and choose products that seem nutritious. But what if I told you that you're probably consuming over 20 teaspoons of sugar every single day without even realizing it? Food companies have become masters at hiding sugar in places you'd never expect. They use over 60 different names for sugar, disguising it on ingredient labels so you can't tell what you're actually eating. Today, we're exposing the shocking truth about hidden sugars in everyday foods. By the end of this video, you'll never look at your grocery cart the same way again. Let's uncover the truth. First, let's understand the scope of this problem. The American Heart Association recommends no more than 6 teaspoons of added sugar per day for women and 9 teaspoons for men. But the average American consumes around 17 teaspoons of added sugar daily. That's nearly triple the recommended amount. And most people have no idea where it's all coming from. Here's why this matters. Excess sugar consumption is linked to obesity, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, fatty liver disease, tooth decay, inflammation, accelerated aging, and even certain cancers. Sugar is also incredibly addictive. It activates the same reward centers in your brain as drugs like cocaine. Food companies know this, and they exploit it by adding sugar to practically everything. The problem isn't the natural sugars found in whole fruits and vegetables. It's the added sugars that manufacturers sneak into processed foods to make them more appealing and keep you coming back for more. Here's their first trick: using different names for sugar so it doesn't appear as the first ingredient. When you see an ingredient list, manufacturers are required to list ingredients by weight. If sugar was listed as the #1 ingredient, you might put that product back. So instead, they use multiple types of sugar under different names. The product might contain cane sugar, corn syrup, dextrose, and fruit juice concentrate, all forms of sugar, but listed separately so none of them appears first. Here are just some of the names sugar hides behind. Anything ending in ose like sucrose, fructose, dextrose, maltose, glucose. Syrups like corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, rice syrup, maple syrup, agave syrup, malt syrup. Concentrates like fruit juice concentrate, cane juice, evaporated cane juice. And deceptive health halo names like organic cane sugar, coconut sugar, date sugar, turbinado. They all metabolize as sugar in your body. Don't be fooled by names that sound natural or healthy. Your body processes them the same way. Pro tip: scan the entire ingredient list and count how many different sugar sources appear. You'll be shocked. Let's start exposing where sugar hides. First up, foods marketed as healthy breakfast options. Flavored yogurt is a major offender. A single cup of fruit-flavored yogurt can contain 20 to 30 grams of sugar. That's 5 to 7 teaspoons. Some have more sugar than ice cream. The fruit flavoring is often just sugar and artificial flavor with minimal actual fruit. Granola seems wholesome, but most commercial brands are loaded with added sugars and sweetened dried fruit. A single serving can pack 12 to 15 grams of sugar. And let's be honest, you're probably eating more than the tiny serving size listed. Instant oatmeal packets, especially flavor varieties, contain shocking amounts of sugar. Some maple and brown sugar versions have 12 grams per packet. You're essentially eating candy for breakfast. Breakfast bars and protein bars are often glorified candy bars. Many contain 15 to 20 grams of sugar, with ingredients like chocolate chips, yogurt coating, and multiple syrups. Just because it says protein or fiber doesn't make it healthy. Even all-natural, muesli, and seemingly healthy cereals can hide 8 to 12 grams of sugar per serving from added dried fruit and sweeteners. Better choices: plain Greek yogurt with fresh berries, steel-cut oatmeal that you sweeten yourself minimally, homemade granola, or eggs with vegetables. Next hiding spot: condiments and sauces. These seem innocent because you use small amounts, but they add up fast. Ketchup is basically tomato-flavored sugar. A single tablespoon contains 4 grams of sugar. Squirt it on your burger and fries, and you're easily consuming 2 to 3 tablespoons. That's 12 grams right there. Barbecue sauce is even worse. 2 tablespoons can contain 12 to 16 grams of sugar. That's more sugar than 2 Oreo cookies. Bottled salad dressings are sugar bombs in disguise. Low-fat and fat-free versions are the worst offenders because manufacturers replace fat with sugar to maintain flavor. A serving of sweet vinaigrette can have 5 to 8 grams of sugar, and most people use double or triple the serving size. Teriyaki sauce, sweet and sour sauce, hoisin sauce, and other Asian-inspired sauces contain massive amounts of sugar, often 8 to 12 grams per tablespoon. Even marinara and pasta sauces hide added sugars. Some brands add sugar to balance the acidity of tomatoes. A half-cup serving can contain 6 to 12 grams of added sugar. Honey mustard, cranberry sauce, relish, and chutney are all packed with sugar. Better choices. Make your own dressings with olive oil and vinegar. Choose sugar-free mustard, use fresh herbs and spices for flavor, or look for brands with no added sugar. The third hiding spot: beverages marketed as healthy alternatives to soda. Vitamin water and enhanced waters seem like smart choices, but many contain 20 to 30 grams of sugar per bottle. That's nearly as much as soda. The vitamins are just marketing. You're drinking sugar water. Bottled smoothies and fresh juice bar smoothies often exceed 50 grams of sugar per bottle. Even though some of it comes from fruit, it's still too much concentrated sugar without the fiber to slow absorption. Iced tea from bottles and coffee shops is heavily sweetened. A store-bought iced tea can contain 20 to 30 grams of sugar. Sweetened iced coffee drinks from chains often contain 30 to 40 grams or more. Sports drinks like Gatorade contain about 21 grams of sugar per 12-ounce serving. Unless you're an endurance athlete training intensely, you don't need them. Water is sufficient. Flavored plant-based milks, almond milk, oat milk, coconut milk often have added sugar. Sweetened versions can contain 5 to 10 grams per cup. Even original varieties usually contain added sugar. Kombucha has exploded in popularity as a health drink, but many brands add significant sugar during production. Some bottles contain 10 to 16 grams of sugar. Cold-pressed juices seem healthy because they're made from vegetables and fruits, but without fiber, we're getting concentrated sugar. Some green juices with fruit contain 25 to 40 grams per bottle. Better choices: plain water, unsweetened tea, black coffee, sparkling water with lemon, or unsweetened plant milk. Sugar hiding spot number 4, bread and grain products. Why would bread need sugar? To improve browning, extend shelf life, and enhance flavor. Most commercial sandwich bread contains 2 to 4 grams of sugar per slice. 2 slices for a sandwich means 4 to 8 grams of added sugar before you even add fillings. Whole wheat bread isn't necessarily better. Many brands add sugar or high fructose corn syrup. Check the label carefully. Bagels often contain 5 to 8 grams of sugar each, especially flavor varieties like cinnamon raisin or honey wheat. Flour tortillas and wraps frequently contain added sugar, with some brands packing 3 to 5 grams per tortilla. English muffins, hamburger buns, and hot dog buns typically contain 2 to 4 grams of sugar each. Crackers are surprising sugar sources. Some wheat crackers contain 3 to 5 grams per serving, with sweeteners added for flavor. Pretzels, which seem like simple snacks, often have sugar listed in the first few ingredients. Even pizza dough from the refrigerated section usually contains added sugar. Better choices: look for bread with 1 gram or less of sugar per slice. Make your own bread, choose sprouted grain products, or opt for lettuce wraps instead of bread. The 5th hiding spot: savory foods where you'd never expect sweetness. Frozen meals are notorious for hidden sugar. Manufacturers add it to improve taste in foods that have been sitting in freezers for months. A single frozen dinner can contain 10 to 20 grams of added sugar from sauces, glazes, and seasonings. Canned soups are sugar traps. A can of tomato soup can have 20 grams of sugar. Even chicken noodle soup often contains 5 to 8 grams. The sodium isn't the only problem with canned soup. Baked beans are essentially beans in sugar sauce. A half-cup serving typically contains 12 to 15 grams of sugar. Coleslaw and potato salad from the deli counter are drowning in sugar-laden dressings, sometimes containing 10 to 15 grams per serving. Flavored potato chips and tortilla chips often have added sugar for taste enhancement. Barbecue chips and sweet chili chips are obvious, but even some regular flavored chips contain it. Pre-made trail mix seems healthy, but most varieties are packed with candy pieces, chocolate chips, and yogurt-covered items. The dried fruit is also often sweetened beyond its natural sugar content. Microwave popcorn and flavor varieties like kettle corn or caramel corn contain significant added sugar. Better choices: cook from scratch when possible. Choose plain frozen vegetables that you season yourself. Make your own soup and read every label carefully. The most deceptive hiding spot: food specifically marketed as healthy. Protein powders and meal replacement shakes often contain 10 to 20 grams of sugar per serving. Manufacturers add sugar to mask the chalky taste of protein. Look for unflavored or minimally sweetened options. Energy balls and protein bites from health food stores seem nutritious with dates and nuts, but many contain added honey, agave, or chocolate chips, pushing sugar content to 8 to 12 grams per serving. Gluten-free products are not automatically healthy. To compensate for texture and taste differences, manufacturers often add extra sugar. Gluten-free cookies, crackers, and breads frequently have more sugar than regular versions. Dried fruit is nature's candy, literally. The drying process concentrates natural sugars, and many brands add extra sugar on top. A small handful can contain 20 to 30 grams of sugar. Natural and organic snacks aren't sugar-free. Organic cane sugar is still sugar. Health food store products can be just as high in sugar as conventional items. Nut butters beyond plain peanut or almond butter often contain added sugar. Flavored varieties and even some natural brands add sweeteners. Acai bowls and smoothie bowls at trendy cafes can contain 40 to 60 grams of sugar from sweetened acai, honey, granola, and fruit. Better choices: look for protein powder with less than 5 grams of sugar. Make your own energy bites with minimal sweetener. Choose truly sugar-free products, and always check the nutrition label. Here's how to become a sugar detective. First, check the nutrition facts panel. Look at total sugars and especially added sugars. Added sugars are the ones manufacturers put in. These are what you want to minimize. Second, read the ingredient list. Ingredients are listed by weight. So if any form of sugar appears in the first 3 ingredients, that product is sugar heavy. Remember to look for all those different sugar names. Third, do the math. Every 4 grams of sugar equals approximately 1 teaspoon. If a product has 20 grams of sugar, that's 5 teaspoons. Visualize that amount and ask if it's worth it. Fourth, be skeptical of health claims on packaging. All natural, organic, made with real fruit, and whole grain don't mean low sugar. These are marketing terms designed to make products seem healthier than they are. Fifth, compare brands. Store brands and different manufacturers vary wildly in sugar content for the same type of product. Taking 30 seconds to compare labels can save you from consuming unnecessary sugar. Sixth, watch serving sizes. Manufacturers sometimes list unrealistically small serving sizes to make nutrition numbers look better. That bottled smoothie might claim to be 2.5 servings, even though most people drink the entire bottle. Here, why does all this hidden sugar matter so much? When you consume sugar throughout the day from multiple sources, your blood sugar and insulin levels are constantly elevated. This leads to insulin resistance, where your cells stop responding properly to insulin. That's the road to type 2 diabetes. Excess sugar gets converted to fat and stored in your liver and around your organs. This visceral fat is the most dangerous type, linked to heart disease and metabolic syndrome. Sugar feeds chronic inflammation throughout your body. Inflammation is the root cause of most modern diseases, from arthritis to Alzheimer's. Sugar accelerates aging by damaging collagen and elastin through a process called glycation. This shows up as wrinkles, sagging skin, and aged appearance. The energy crashes from blood sugar spikes leave you tired, irritable, and craving more sugar. It's a vicious cycle that's hard to break. Hidden sugars contribute to weight gain not just through calories, but by disrupting hormones that control hunger and fullness. You end up eating more without realizing it. How to become a sugar detective. So how do you escape the hidden sugar trap? Start by eating more whole, unprocessed foods. Fresh vegetables, fruits, whole grains, legumes, nuts, seeds, fish, and unprocessed meats don't have ingredient labels full of surprises. Cook more meals at home. When you control the ingredients, you control the sugar content. Homemade versions of sauces, dressings, and snacks contain a fraction of the sugar in store-bought versions. When you do buy packaged foods, choose products with less than 5 grams of added sugar per serving. This single rule will eliminate most problematic products. Gradually reduce your sugar intake rather than going cold turkey. Your taste buds will adapt over 2 to 3 weeks, and foods you once enjoyed may start tasting too sweet. Replace sugary foods strategically. If you love flavored yogurt, switch to plain yogurt with fresh fruit. If you need barbecue sauce, make a simple version at home with minimal sweetener. Focus on what you're adding to your diet rather than just what you're removing. Eating more protein, fiber, and healthy fats naturally reduces sugar cravings. Remember, food companies profit when you buy their products repeatedly. Hidden sugars ensure you keep coming back. Take back control of your health. Hidden sugars are everywhere. In breakfast foods, condiments, drinks, bread, frozen meals, and even health foods. Food companies use dozens of different names to disguise sugar on labels, and they've gotten very good at making you consume far more than you realize. The average person eats over 17 teaspoons of added sugar daily, mostly from hidden sources. This excessive sugar intake is destroying health, driving obesity and disease epidemics. But now you know the truth. You know where sugar hides and how to spot it. You have the knowledge to make informed choices that protect your health. Start reading labels today. Be shocked. Get angry if you need to. Then make better choices. Your body will thank you with more energy, stable moods, better sleep, clearer skin, and reduced disease risk. You deserve to know what you're eating. Don't let food companies hide the truth from you any longer. If this video opened your eyes, hit that like button and subscribe for more nutrition truth bombs. Comment below, what hidden sugar source shocked you the most? Thanks for watching, and here's to taking control of what goes into your body.